Hello. So today's topic is the major schools of psychology that have considerably influenced pedagogies. The first one is the behaviorist school of psychology. The behaviorists believe that all organisms exhibit behavior. They are capable of reacting to environmental factors. Their reactions is called response. The factors that stimulates reaction is the stimulus. In order to get the desired response, the organisms should have sufficient motivation and should have enough use or practice. The response should give satisfaction to the learner. For the teacher, the implications of the behaviorist model of learning are: language is learned only through use or practice. The production of learning is dependent upon the meaningful situation. Don't you believe that? Then the learner should make an effort to learn, otherwise no learning is possible. I repeat, this is a very important point. The learner should have an effort to learn, otherwise no learning is possible. This requires attention, and attention is secured through spaced repetition. If the response is the right one, it should be confirmed immediately, so that the learner may derive satisfaction. However, there are psychologists who maintain that learning cannot be equated with behavior, observed behavior, I mean. Another school of psychology is the cognitive school of psychology. The role played by the perception and insight formation. All learning is in the nature of problem solving. The implications are: the learner encountering a new situation recognizes it as a problem to be solved. He analyzes it and tries to identify the elements or components of the situation. Then he compares the new situation and relates it to his own experience to find out similarities or differences. These comparisons suggest a plan. He tests the plan, and if it does not work, abandons it and evolves another plan. If that works, he stores it for the future use. Now, behaviorists were purely experimentalists, in that they learned heavily on the importance of environment, whereas the cognitivists, while realizing the importance of environment, considered understanding to be the major factor in learning. Now, the psychologists stress the importance of genetic characteristics still further and play down the role of learning environment. According to them, only the human species can learn and learn a language, human species, not the other animals, however high they may be on the scale of evolution. Language learning is an inevitable process. Even the dullest child cannot help learning at least one language. Children have a built-in system which determines the timetable for language learning. This means that language learning is a process of biological growth or maturation. The second important principles of both the schools are: for example, the behaviorists believe that the learner has to learn language item by item, whereas the cognitivism believes that mechanical learning is unproductive. The second difference between behaviorism is that sufficient practice should be given so that the learner can master the item of learning. On the other hand, the cognitivism believes that learner should be helped to derive his own rules of language on the basis of the data given. In the continuation, the cognitivist approach to language learning has helped making teaching learning creative and flexible. Even the errors of the learner are regarded as evidences of the creative use of language. Cognitivism has helped to put the focus on the learner rather than on the teacher. Learning is much more important than teaching. Now, linguistics has helped to determine the objectives for language education. Learning a language means knowing the language code. The rules of the language have to be learned as one has to learn the laws of physics. So, for today, this is sufficient. Please do subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.